Thanks for clicking on this video. If you want to follow along, the links to the companion worksheet are in the description below. So in this video, we're talking about roots of unity. Now, in a previous video that I'm going to link up above, we talked about roots of complex numbers, but here we're specifically talking about roots of unity. And oftentimes teachers or textbooks will treat this as a different topic or a separate portion when you're talking about complex numbers. So we will do the same. And really, unity is just a way of saying 1. Because the unit circle, if you remember from trigonometry, is the circle with a radius of 1. That's what makes it the unit circle. So that's all we're doing, is finding the units, the roots of 1. Now, since we're finding roots, like we did in the previous video, we're going to write this in trigonometric form. Now, the nice thing is, 1 is a very easy number to write in trigonometric form because it's right here. It's 1 unit away with an angle of 0. So 1 CIS 0. Now, since we're finding cube roots, that means there's going to be 3 answers. So cube roots differ by 360 over 3, which is 120 degrees. Now with cube roots, we're raising this to the 1/3 power. So if I take 1 and raise it to the 1/3, that's going to stay as 1. And if I take 0 and divide it by 3, I still get 0. So this is one of our cube roots of unity. But what's the next one? Well, we add 120 degrees. And then we add 120 degrees again. All right. Now, some textbooks and some teachers will want you to actually write this out in standard form, and that's fine. We can do that. So cosine of 0 degrees plus I sine of 0 degrees. Cosine 120 plus I sine 120. Cosine 240 plus I sine 240. All right. Well, sine of 0 is 0. Cosine of 0 is 1. So cube root of 1 is 1. We know that. Cosine of 120 is negative 1/2. Sine of 120 is square root of 3 over 2. So if I took this and raised it to the 3rd power, I would also get 1. And then cosine of 240, that's negative 1/2 minus square root of 3 over 2i. So these are our 3 cube roots of unity in standard form. Number 2, we want the 4 roots of unity. So pretty much all of these start with 1 CIS 0, because if I raise 1 to the 1/4, take the 4th root of 1, I still get 1. If I take 0 and divide by 4, I'm still going to get 0. Thing to remember is that 4th roots differ by 360 over 4, which is 90 degrees. So if I add 90, I get 1 CIS 90. If I add it again, I get CIS 180. And once more, 1 CIS 270. And so if I write this out, cosine of 0 plus I sine of 0, which we just saw above, was 1. Cosine of 90 plus I sine of 90. Well, cosine of 90 is 0 and sine of 90 is 1, so this is I. Cosine of 180 plus I sine of 180. Cosine of 180 is negative 1, sine of 180 is 0, so this is negative 1. And then we have cosine 270 plus I sine of 270. And so cosine of 270 is 0, sine of 270 is negative 1, so we have negative I. So 1i, negative 1, and negative I are the 4 fourth roots of unity. So the next one, we want to find the fifth roots of unity. So fifth roots they're going to differ by 360 over 5, which is 72 degrees. So we start with 1 CIS 0, and then 1 CIS 72, and then 1 CIS 144. And then the next one is 216. And then the next one is 288. Now, unfortunately, these angles are not common on a unit circle, so these we'll have to write out and use our calculator. So cosine 72 plus I sine 72. So we get 0.31 plus 0.95 I. And there's probably a little bit of round off, but that's okay. So next, 144. We're going to get negative 0.81 plus 0.59 I. And so cosine 216 plus I sine 216. That's going to give us negative 0.81 minus 0.59 I. And then finally, 288. And so here we get 0.31 minus 0.95 I. And those are our 5 fifth roots of unity. And so for the last one, here we have 6 roots. So sixth roots differ by 360 over 6. So we get 60 degrees. So we start with 1 CIS 0. So 1 CIS 60. 1 CIS 120. 1 CIS 180. 1 CIS 240. 1 CIS 300. So we know 1 CIS is positive 1. 1 CIS 60. So that's going to be cosine of 60 degrees plus I sine 60 degrees. Cosine of 60 is 1/2. Sine of 60 is square root of 3 over 2. 1 CIS 120. Well, we did that on the first page. That first example, negative 1/2 plus square root of 3 over 2I. 1 CIS 180, we did that on the second example on the first page. That is negative 1. 1 CIS 240, we did that on the first example on the first page. And that's negative 1/2 minus square root of 3 over 2I. And then finally, 1 CIS 300. And so cosine of 300 is 1/2. Sine of 300 is negative square root of 3 over 2I. And so these are our 6 sixth roots of unity in standard form. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if you want to see more, click the subscribe button. To support the channel, click the links down below. Thanks for watching. And remember, the best way to understand something is to do it.